Hello friends, welcome to my channel Game of Trades. Today is 9th of June 2018 and in this video I will be describing the chart layout that I use. This is one of the query which was asked to me. So in this video I would like to answer that. The current chart pattern which is in front of you, this is what you have normally seen me using while doing any technical analysis on any stock indices or my live analysis video where I describe that what pattern I am currently looking at and what is the current trend. So this is the chart that this is the one which you should be familiar with, and this is important to understand that it's not important that you just copy this and this becomes the final uh, chart layout that you should be using. No, even if you are using some variation of it or totally different thing, I have seen many people using two Bollinger Bands with different parameter configurations that we can discuss, but it's not important that you do just add the indicators as has been used by someone else, you as the studies and tools as somebody else is using. It's also important that you understand that why all these tools, why all these studies have been added, how these studies, how these simple lines, how these Bollinger Bands, how these indicators are contributing to the overall technical analysis, which part they are useful for, how they fit together. It's important that you understand all those things. It's also important that you understand that in which phase of your technical analysis you should neglect what part. It's not just that you consider everything whenever whatever you are doing. At some point of time, there can be some conflicting views by different mechanisms of analysis, and then you should understand that which will override which one. Now, this is a complex thing. Trading is not a simple thing. Even if you know that we are going down at this level, let's say that you are aware that this is confirmed that you got a very good tip that from this level we are going down. What are you going to do then? You are a trader. You know this is a 100% tip and you are going to short this market. You shorted it here. And let's say that you know that okay it is going 100 and 200 points down. You shorted here, you kept here for few days, and then boom, after few days, in fact after a series of fall in just 2 days it came back here. So all your profit have gone. In fact, it went much higher. So now your position is negative. Analysis, technical analysis, and trading, they are two separate things. Trading is also about timing. You have to know when to enter as well as when to exit. It's not just that you know, okay, we know that this is the trend and you simply go short because this is going down. You have to know at which point you exit. Now let's say that you carried your short here and then you simply let it go. You know that okay, now you will say that you were right and the tip whatever you got or whatever analysis you did was right, and then you are again in profit, but then again it moves back here. You have to understand that it's not just the trend analysis that you have to do. You have to know at what time to exit and at what time to entry, as well as you have to know at which phase of market you are in. This is a typical corrective phase, and in this corrective phase you have to be extra careful. This is where you have to keep booking your profits, and but you have to understand that you are in corrective phase. Somebody will say that okay, this is a bottom, this is a bottom, and this is a double bottom, and it should go up now. That will not happen. Not every two bottom makes a double bottom, and it becomes and you become too much optimistic that you will go bull here for a long time, but this bull run just lasted for 2 days. You have to understand the difference between pullback and a rally. So there are a lot of things that needs to be consideration, that needs a consideration. Coming back to the chart layout. So just I wanted to tell you that just by knowing or copying a chart layout or the studies that I have been using or anybody else is using does not make a good trader. You have to understand that how do you interpret these studies, and more on that will follow up, but first currently focus on the chart layout. So I'm using this Bollinger Band. This Bollinger Band I am using with the default setting. If you see here, if you go to studies, Bollinger Band 22, this 2 is the moving average period. So this is 2, sorry, 2 is the deviation, 2 is the standard deviation, 20 is the moving average, and I am in Bollinger Band I am using simple moving average. And then there is something, so let's go and go see into the detail. Edit settings. So this is on the basis of closing. Period is 20, standard deviation is 2, moving average is simple. So that's it. I'm not using anything extra. This is the default setting that Bollinger Bands come with, and I'm using that. Some variation also uses 1.5. That is also fine, and you have to understand that what are these parameters and what are their uses. Then only you should change that. Now you saw that I have this Bollinger Band. Now this green is 100-day EMA. This this blue one is 50 period EMA, and this saffron colored is 20 period EMA. Now whenever I hover on any of these lines, you will see that there is a note that comes up. So note that comes in blue box. This is 100 EMA. You will see it here whenever I touch it here. Here also you see 50, so pop-up comes. So this is where how you know that what are they. Now if you go to the studies, I have RSI, Bollinger Band, moving average 50, 20 and 100. This is what I described here, and I have one RSI. Now this is the RSI indicators. In the market, whenever you Google for indicators, you will get lot of indicators. It's not just that RSI is the best indicator that I have come across. When I started my trading career, when I was fascinated with the world of indicators, and uh, I was also looking at a lot of others, MACD and all those things, as everybody is doing that, stochastics, CCI and all. But it's important that you know that you don't trade indicators, you trade price. And indicators have some relevance, but trading solely based on any indicators is a trading style that you are, if that is your style to trade, then definitely you will fail. There is no other way you will fail. If you don't know anything except trading indicators, then you know, then that is for sure that you are going, you have a big plan for failing yourself. This is what going to happen to you. This this indicators and all these things, they have a prior notion of price action confirmation and all those things. You have to understand that. Even RSI, this indicator which I am using, whenever I am doing some analysis, technical analysis, you won't see me much saying about RSI. Only few of my technical analysis video I refer to RSI. And because there are specific cases where I am using RSI. It's not just that for every movement I am tracking RSI. If RSI is going to certain level, then I short it or go long for it. No, I use it for specific cases. More on that will follow up in another video where I will talk about indicators. This is just to make you understand that whatever you are using on this chart, I told you that I am using this moving averages, this Bollinger Band, and this RSI. You have to understand that why are you using that? What is the specific purpose of that? In what conditions RSI or any indicator or this moving averages should be used, they are successful, and in what type of market that they fail to give a successful entry or exit. You have to understand the cases where you should use it as well as the cases where you should not use it, because everything does not work every time. During some particular phase of market, let's say that some indicator X or some study, whatever Bollinger Band or something, works best in say trending market, but in whenever we go for a correction, whenever a corrective move comes that simply fails to generate good signal, then in that case we should avoid this. Unless you are aware of uses as well as failures of any studies or indicator, you should not use it. That means you simply have to study more. You have to go in more details and depth to understand that before start using that. Now, if you are if you're pretty new to trading, then probably you have to also understand that whenever you are adding any study here, especially moving averages, you also choose color to it. Otherwise, the default color is black. Now, if I just change the period, let's say, let me add it here, moving averages. Moving average, where is it? Yes, moving average. And let's say that I want to add 200, and let's say that I go for again exponential, and here you have to choose color also. This is important. Otherwise, if every color is default color, that is black, then you won't be able to know that which is 50 period EMA, which is 50, which is 100 period EMA and all. So you have to understand that choosing color is also important. So now I will remove this 200 thing. Yeah. Also, this color that I have used for this is because the color of our Indian flag is same. So at the top we have saffron, in the middle we have blue wheel, blue chakra, right? So we have a white background, and on that we have this blue chakra, and then we have this green bottom part. So this is how this is aligned, and that's why this color I have chosen. Now this flag, and this is nothing to do with the chart pattern flag. This is just uh, this color alignation I have just chosen to be same of as of our Indian flag, that is tricolor. Now if you see this, these EMAs are aligned in the same way as the color of our flag, then you know that you have to take a long, you have to go long. I'm just giving you a lump sum view. That's not how you should enter a trade. That's not how you should take a entry of on the trade. Just because you have seen these colors are aligned in the same color, because our tricolor saffron is on the top followed by blue and then green, it does not mean that you should go long every time. Now, for doing that, you have some specific study that we have to do. But here you have to understand that it just gives an overview that how it is moving. These moving averages are balancing out the price action as per the, as the name suggests, this is averaging out. So this is balancing out. It is giving a lump sum overview of how price action is moving. If price is above that, then we have this tricolor color aligned in EMAs. Then this is normally a bull market. This is how, just by looking at it, you know what it is doing. Entry and exit criteria, they are totally different thing, and they need, for that you need to know minute details, and for that we will come to that in some other video. Now, if you see here, this is completely opposite to our flag, our tricolor. So green has become the tops, followed by blue, and then at the bottom we have this saffron. So you know that this is seller's market, this is a bear market, and this is what you see here. Bollinger Band also has some significance, but going that in detail will be out of scope of this video. Will talk about that in some other video, but then now you understand that what are the things, what are the studies and indicators I have on my chart layout. If you have any further queries on that, and if you didn't understand any part of that, you can pin down your query in the comment section. But understand that this is just one of the way how do you make your how do you align yourself for the study. This is just one of the way. Your way can be different, and that is fine, but the main thing is you, that is fine only if you understand different constituents of your chart layout, their uses, their their successes and their failures. So just be mindful of that. If you have any queries regarding even your chart layout, you know why, what and why you have been using, you just see your chart layout and question why you are using any part of that. So just say that if you have a MACD, why are you using that? At what point of time it has failed you? Why it has failed you? These are the few questions that you should be asking. If you don't get an answer to that, probably you should read more about that. You should explore more. But one thing I will say, that don't waste your time on indicators. They are, and even these moving averages and all, they are just indicative of the price action. They are not the criteria where you take a trade or exit a trade. These things, whatever you are seeing on the chart, are just for the are just very preliminary things. They are very very basic. They are very very naive. There are some detailed in-depth studies which go much beyond and much has a greater scope. And for that I will be talking about more, and I will starting a playlist on that very soon. So stay tuned. As of now, I am concluding this video. If you have any further queries, you can ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.